Everybody, it's Paige Evans and I have a new process video to share with you today. This was made for the Pink Paisley blog using my Globe Floral cut file in my brand new collection called Truly Grateful. So the first thing I did is had my Silhouette Cameo 3 cut out the floral globe using white textured cardstock, and then I carefully peeled it off the mat. It's a really intricate design, so I wanted to make sure not to tear it or anything. So I just went pretty slow, carefully peeled it off the sticky mat. If it tears, it's okay. You can carefully piece it back together, and then spend some time removing any of the little pieces that got stuck inside. So now I want to use my Cameo to have it cut out all of the inner shapes for backing it. So I've copied and pasted it into a new studio document, right-clicked, released the compound path, and now I'm going to delete all of the shapes that I don't need. So I'm taking out that inner piece, deleting the outside line of the globe, and then all of these inner pieces. So I don't need to cut backing pieces for all of these shapes in between the flowers and leaves. So I'm just going to take some time to delete those inner pieces. And then what I did is grouped the flowers and leaves together into their full shapes. So all the little pieces that made up a flower I grouped together, all the little pieces that made up the leaves I grouped together, and then I turned on the grid so it's 1-inch squares which reflect the lines printed on the sticky mat, and I am arranging them into grids that are easy to cut papers into. So for example, I would fit one of the flowers into a 1-inch square so I could cut a 1-inch square of paper. I am creating an offset. So I selected all the pieces, opened up the offset tool, and now I am decreasing the size of the offset until some of the pieces are just barely overlapping. Everything looks good, so then I'm gonna go ahead and click apply, and then I need to take a little bit more time to delete all of the inner pieces. To save you from doing all of this extra work, since I've already done it for you, I will have this cut file readily available in my Etsy shop. So you can just download it and it's ready to go. You don't need to do all of this fiddly extra work. You can just cut the pieces of pattern paper to fit your sticky mat and then it's ready to go. So I've arranged all the pieces and then I've cut pattern papers to mirror what's going on here in Silhouette Studio, and then I will click send. But I want to show you what the pattern papers look like on the sticky mat first. So here's the pattern papers on the sticky mat. It's helpful to use a super sticky brand new mat so the pattern papers don't shift around. A couple minutes later, my Cameo finished cutting out all of these pieces, and now I'm going to back the cut file with the pattern paper pieces that the Cameo cut. So the hardest part about this process is figuring out which shapes belong with which cut file. It's a little bit of guesswork, kind of like a puzzle, but I like a fun challenge like that. So I'm showing you how I've backed these flowers. So first I did the middle piece, and then I'm coming in with the 3 middle pieces that are a little bit larger. So I used yellow pattern paper for the center, pink for the inner part of the flower, and then darker pinks for the large part of the flower, the main part of the flower. So I have 3 large flowers, and this piece is obviously this one because it's on the edge, and using liquid adhesive, it's Tombow mono adhesive, and putting those flowers in place. So you see you have to kind of rotate it and figure out how the shape fits. It's all right. It's better than cutting it out by hand. Teeny tiny dots. So again, I use liquid adhesive, and then I'm just placing these dots on the back of all of these little dots. So I took some time to back the entire cut file, and here I'm just showing you how I'm adding some leaves, lots of little pieces, but I really think it saved a couple hours of work by having the machine cut out all of these backing pieces rather than me doing it by hand, doing all the tracing and fussy cutting and gluing. So makes it a lot faster having your Cameo cut out the pieces. Alright, so I finished backing this floral globe, and now I'm trying to figure out which piece I want to use to back the globe part of the globe, the main part, the circle. So I'm going with kind of a pinky purple color scheme. I've cut the this part of the globe from a dark purple pattern paper in Truly Grateful, and then I have a circle to back the entire globe part. So I used liquid adhesive, but for this part I'm going to use dimensional foam squares. So I'm adding a teeny tiny foam dot to the back of almost all of the shapes, so all of the flowers and all of the leaves. Teeny tiny foam squares. I just picked these up on Amazon. If you're interested, I can send you a link. And then need to take some time to peel off the backing. And there we go, it's ready to go. So I at first tried to place it on top, but then I decided to flip it over and place the circle right on the back. That was a lot easier than trying to do it the other way. So here's the pattern paper I chose. It kind of looks like wallpaper, and it starts lighter at the top and gets darker at the bottom. I'm going to add some gesso to the background, so I'm tracing the shape of the globe where I want it to be on the layout, and then squirting some of this white gesso onto the background using this cool tool by Vicky Bouton and scraping the gesso around. But then I decided to come in with my fingers and spread it around just to tone down the background. It creates kind of a softer look and helps the cut file really pop off the background. Creates more contrast. And I like the look of having my fingers rub it in. So I have adhered the floral globe down. This is the picture that I'm going to use. It's of me and my kids, Fox and Jane. We are at the North Pole in Colorado Springs. And time to embellish. So I had my Silhouette Cameo cut out all of these flowers from one of the pattern papers. I do have a process video showing how to use the pick scan feature, and I can leave a link to that in the video description. But I don't know, it just wasn't driving with me, so I took off all of those flowers and, okay, so I hadn't adhered the globe down, but I did glue it down now. I used dimensional adhesive so that it pops off just a little bit, and adding the photo using super sticky double-sided tape, tucking it in so the flowers kind of overlap in some places. And then I pulled out the package of floral and leaf die cuts, and I just liked the look of these ones better. There's more of a color variety, and just gonna start tucking them around the edges so they're peeking out from behind the globe. Adding a couple more die cuts that say "You Are Loved" and a Wonder journaling spot, a Stay Golden sticker, and adding more flower die cuts. So there's a fine line between too many and not enough. So just kind of have to go until it looks right to you. So I'm balancing out what's happening on the right side with more flowers over on the left side and a leaf. From the epoxy stickers, I'm adding this large sunshine title. And then for a bit of whimsy and fun and extra something, I'm bending over this top right corner, revealing that pretty blue pattern on the back. And then I'm going to replace that corner with a striped paper from the 6x8 paper pad. I like the purples and pinks going on this layout, so I found a pink and purple striped paper in the 6x8 paper pad, just roughly cutting it out, and then I will glue it in place. So the corner has been replaced, and I just like that little bit of extra something that it adds, having that corner folded over. From the 6x12 stickers, there's a scalloped border sticker. I'm just going to tuck it underneath here. And then I will come in with a white pen and write my journaling on this part of the globe. I like how the white stands out from that dark background. And that, my friends, is the finished layout. I hope you are inspired to back this pretty cut file. I hope you are inspired to pick up my new Truly Grateful collection with Pink Paisley. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you again in my next video. Have a wonderful day.